Welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast where we dissect the Railway series. I'm Jamie.
I'm Marina.
I'm Vivian.
And we hope you enjoy the show. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast where we talk about the funny train books. But this time, this is a different kind of funny train book.
Yeah.
Because this is a funny train book with a lot of weird behind-the-scenes stuff going on that's in a different and unique format.
Yeah, I honestly forgot there was a book version of this, and
I'll be honest, I didn't know there was a book version of this up until, 2 years ago.
No, none of us had it, so I actually bought this for the episode. I have the physical book now. Because, none of us had, a copy of this to read, so I'm going to be reading today. So this special is also a bridge into the next book, because I'm going to be doing that one as well.
A Christopher Audrey special.
Except this isn't Christopher Audrey, which is why
Let
it's
me
not
have
shit.
my joke. Let me have my joke.
If you want to be, extremely technical, it's not even I mean, it is a Reverend Audrey special, because he wrote the book. But technically, this is an idea that originated from Britt Allcroft and David Mitton.
Yeah.
Because they wrote the original story for television and then had Audrey adapt it to the book medium, so that way they could keep their contract where everything they had to do was based on an existing book.
Apparently, they hadn't even seen the book version until, a meeting in, I think, October in 84, which was, when the TV series had started airing, so the episodes were, obviously long done, and,
Yeah.
that's just interesting.
I think it is really unique and interesting just because it is a David and Britt story that Audrey adapted into his own canon. And yet, most of it's it's basically the same base story, but just with more detail.
Yeah, there's a lot of little details that are changed.
Theoretically speaking, is this episode the first ever piece of Thomas the Tank Engine fanfiction?
It's official, so I don't think I'd call it fanfiction.
What do you think the first piece of Thomas fanfiction was?
Some kid in, the 50s, probably. Just, writing stuff in their notebook.
I think the first Thomas fanfiction was, the first, random playtime story Chris came up with while playing with, the original Thomas toy.
That's adorable, though.
Here, wait, I want to see something. What is
I wonder if, Audrey was just, behind the door listening to Chris play with the train, just oh god, I'm out of ideas, I'm out of ideas.
Oldest piece of Thomas the Tank Engine fanfiction is on fanfiction.net is a story called The Invasion of Sodar by Professor V, which was published on June 15th, 2005, which is interesting.
I'm certain there's something on Sif that's older than that.
Yeah, no, but
that old site is, gone, so...
Because didn't SIF found in, 1996 or something?
No, wait, actually, I was wrong. The oldest fic, from what I can tell, is a story called Legend of the Golden Engine by ATK Trains, which was published on February 21st in 2005, but it was updated on June 16th, 2005, so then it appears after the first one, so false prophet. But there's probably definitely stuff on Sif.
You're not only learning about the Railway series, but you're also learning about probably terrible early 2000s fanfiction. Mari's an expert in this department.
Hey, there's some good early 2000s fanfiction.
Yeah, if you're feeling insane, feel free to, go check out those fanfiction.net fics and, tell us what they're
Tell
like.
us the plot.
And go read A Cruelty of Fairness and Fate of Sailor Moon fanfiction. It's amazing. My favorite written thing ever.
If you read
And while you're at it, join the Discord so you can tell us there.
Yes.
If you read Mari's Sailor Moon thing or either of the dumb Thomas fanfics that probably suck, tell us about it in the server. Also,
Yeah.
Don't give Discord your money because they suck.
Yeah, don't give Discord their money. Well, specifically, don't give Discord your money until they, 100% confirm they will not be doing any, fucking NFT, blockchain, Bitcoin shit. Other than that,
In which case, when they do that, please server boost the Railway Series Book Club server.
Yeah, that would be nice, and we would appreciate it. But,
Yeah.
Unless they denounce crypto in all forms, don't give Discord your money. But join our Discord anyway. It'll be fun. You can talk.
That won't give
talk
Discord
to
your
us.
money. It'll give us your money because it'll give me your credit card information.
Oh no.
Yeah. I have your credit card information.
Oh no. I don't have a credit card.
What?
What?
I have Mari's credit
I believe
card
their correct
information.
response is not anymore.
I
have Mari's credit card information.
fucking
too.
shut up. Okay, so dumb thing I noticed. From what I can tell, fanfiction.net opened around 1999. Because most categories I go to, the oldest things there are 1999. That makes the first Thomas thing on the site being from 2005. Really interesting. I guess it probably
the
was
older
on
fandom
its
at the
Did you
time
look
was
up-
also
Maybe there's some older stuff under some kind of different tag. Maybe
Maybe?
Is there a tag for Thomas the Tank Engine as opposed to Thomas and Friends?
Yes, that's what I was on.
Ah, okay.
So to be fair, in the early 2000s, the adult fandom was what consisted of SIF and Leo Kim Video, and that was pretty much it.
I don't even think he was.
I think there
in
was
the
also
fandom
people
until
on
YouTube.
other forums. I'm pretty sure TV.com was one of the big ones back in the day that I wasn't there for.
We need to do a deep dive in just the early days of the fandom. Just go digging around on ancient fan sites.
Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting video, but I don't think I have the mental wherewithal to live through that.
Yeah.
I should point out we have not introduced ourselves.
Yes, hello, I am Jamie, the Queen of Sodor, your hostess with the mostest. Pronouns, she, her.
I'm Marina, TV series and fanfiction bitch. Pronoun she, her.
I am V. She, her, pip pip cheerio, I'm British. I really like Sonic Unleashed.
Blue streak.
Cool.
Sneezed by the Sonic the
That's not Sonic
Werehog.
Unleashed.
Yeah, my bad. It's Sonic Underground.
They made a vow that Mother will be found. When Mom eventually gets to this episode, she's gonna fucking kill us because she hates Sonic Underground.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Miss Kyndley lives in a cottage by the railway. Miss Kyndley loves trains and waves when they go by. Once, when she was ill in bed, she saved Thomas from an accident. The Fat Controller sends her to Bournemouth to get well. Thomas and Toby missed her greatly and looked forward to welcoming her home again. And that's the longest page in this book. Like I said, there's 3 illustrations.
Oh, good.
Basically just a flashback to...
It's a recap.
Yeah,
Yeah. Getting the readers up to speed with the story that this is a sequel to.
I found it interesting that they keep Bournemouth in the TV series, which is one of the.
Well,
I think this is when they kind of had to just keep things exactly to the script of the books.
Yeah, which I wonder if that was something Audrey said for them to do, because obviously they wouldn't have based it off the book, because they didn't know the book when they had the script. So I wonder if maybe it was he had to.
I think maybe they decided to keep it the same as the text in the book just because they didn't know what continuity hooks would be in this book.
Oh yeah.
or something.
I mean,
don't know.
do they call it
Or they
Bournemouth
didn't.
in the original story? Like in
I think so.
Kindly's Christmas.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so that makes sense then. Toby saw her first. Peep, 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 he whistled. There's Miss Kindly, and happily rang his bell. His driver, fireman, and all the passengers waved to welcome her home. Thomas was pleased too. His trains were heavy at Christmas time. I can't do it, I can't do it, he panted sometimes, but Miss Kindly cheered him on. Oh, yes, I can, he would puff bravely, forgetting the hard work. These pages are cute.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which I prefer, because they changed this bit of dialogue from, like, in the episode, it's Thomas talking to Annie and Clarabelle, because they're like, oh, we're so full, and, like, Thomas is like, oh, don't be so, like, negative,
like
it's
that
Christmas
bit.
time. Yeah, no, which, like, I really
Yeah.
like that, but, like, I also really like Miss Kindly, like, cheering the engines on is cute. So, like, I like
Yeah.
both, but I just find it interesting the different routes they take, because Annie and Clarabelle don't speak in the book version either, which is, like, again, interesting.
Yeah. Par for the course, really.
I think that this is like a thing where it's like both versions of the story are actually a lot of fun, and I feel like if you kind of put them together, you could make like the peak version of Thomas's Christmas Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario, especially because, like, I feel like the TV series episode, like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, I feel like it kind of, like, I didn't really know until, like, we were getting ready to do this that it was originally written by Britt and David, but, like,
It doesn't feel like it.
I was gonna say the opposite. It kind of tracks for me. Like, I don't know, just the way the characters, like, interact and stuff in the TV series version a bit. It feels a bit like that.
There is a lot more direct character interaction, especially in the sheds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the engines are the ones to come up with the Christmas party, which I know is something that you've brought up in a lot of these
Yeah.
stories, is that, the engines hardly ever come up with their own plans.
Yeah.
But, they do here.
Which I really like that. And
See, I definitely prefer, like, I'm getting ahead of myself with this. I definitely prefer the episode to the book, but that just partially because it's just massive nostalgia, because I love Thomas's Christmas Party.
I feel like Thomas's Christmas Party is an episode where, like, the music and the visuals help it a lot. Just because.
They
It's
really
also just
do.
like, you're a kid, you like Christmas, you also like trains, so you like the episode where the trains do Christmas.
Yeah.
Thomas works really well for Christmas stories because, like,
Yeah.
it's a series that just kind of has, like, that warm, like, sort of vibe, and I feel like the general more
yeah.
the series go, like, not counting, like,
Yeah.
Talk Shit Get Hit, like, kind of
Yeah, like,
fit Christmas.
if there are two constants on Sodor, it's, they're a nice railway family and talk shit get hit.
That's like the thing with Thomas, is like, it's a very loving world,
Yee.
so having them celebrate like a holiday that is entirely about, kindness to your neighbor and loving everyone, it just fits, and it's nice to have like ensemble episodes like this where it's just everybody getting involved.
Yeah. Okay.
Go watch Last Train for Christmas, it's good.
Yee.
It is a good episode.
That's the...
I remember, like, watching it when it came out and being like, holy shit, the slip coaches are in this. I didn't think they'd make it past that one episode.
Slip coaches. That episode is good.
Yeah.
What are your favorite Christmas episodes? Because mine is probably...
Diesel's Ghostly Christmas.
Fair.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
Man, I'm trying to think, because there's a lot of good Christmas episodes. The one that's springing to mind right now, to me, is Hunt the Truck. That's probably just because I think about it a lot, because it's one of the few Big World Era episodes that I actually like.
Does It's Only Snow count? Because I always like that one.
I'd say it does.
Like, Thomas and Percy's Christmas
Yeah.
Adventure, It's Only Snow, Diesel's Ghostly Christmas, this Missing Christmas Tree, Terrence Breaks the Ice, Genuinely, I don't think there's a single dud Christmas episode in the era of the show that's actually well written.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what about like the fucking like tornado Christmas or whatever? Kangaroo
God.
Christmas.
And Henry's Magic Box.
Oh, that how did that title
I'm
get
thinking
approved?
I'm thinking about the Christmas episodes that take place on Misty Island, like Merry Misty Island, where like they try to have their own like party, but then the colonizers show up and are like, "Hey, you're really bad at Christmas. We'll show you how it's supposed to be done, you
Isn't
hillbillies."
this an episode where Thomas kidnaps Rheneas and forces him to have Christmas on Misty Island?
It's Toby that
No,
does.
Toby doesn't kidnap Rheneas. Rheneas strong-arms Toby into going to Misty Island.
Okay, how do I like?
And it's such a character pairing.
I want to go to the Hellscape Island.
Listen, Toby, I want to assert dominance over these fools.
You know, it's just like Toby's talking about, like, oh, I have to go to Misty Island. It's such a disaster. And Rheneas is like, tell me more.
Rheneas is like, "Where are your wheels? Faster and faster!"
Do they have a cool skate park that I can do YOLO tricks on?
Oh, God. If they could have made a skate park, but with engines in that era, they probably would have.
I'm absolutely certain that's something they're going to put into All Engines Go.
Oh, God, I'm surprised it's not there already.
Watch us do cool skateboard tricks. That's right.
When did Young Bao show up? Because I saw people posting today that they just recreated the bridge jump from that one TCC short.
God, that's right. Young Bao's in Egg now, isn't he?
But, like, when...
I have not been watching anything from Egg because I value my sanity.
I've watched a total of 3 episodes. I lied when I said I wouldn't watch another, but this was just because I was trying to write something thing that started as a joke in the server. Should we continue?
Yeah, I think we should
Yeah.
keep going.
Thomas had never forgotten how she had saved him from an accident, and always wanted to thank her properly. Toby agreed with him, and so did their drivers and firemen. Let's give her a party at Christmas, they said. Where can we hold it, they wondered. Our shed's much too small. There's no room for anyone else when we're inside. But Thomas's driver wouldn't give up. Let's try at Tidmouth, he said. I'm sure the big engines would like a party in their grand new shed. Trademark. We'll ask when we go there tonight. The big engines were delighted, and so were their drivers and firemen. We'd like that, they said. A party will be fun. We'll ask the Fat Controller tomorrow. So this is the first time we see giant Tidmouth sheds.
I like big interior roundhouse Tidmouth sheds.
You know, I
Yes,
do too.
I forgot to talk about this. I forgot to talk about it at the top of this episode, but I think it's really cool that Audrey is using this like story that was originally written by the TV series crew as like a vehicle for lore to be put into the Railway series.
Yeah.
He never stopped.
So this takes place 1 year after Toby the Tram Engine, and
Before Duck arrives, still.
before Duck arrives still. So it's 1952. So in 1952, they get big Tidmouth sheds.
I love that, like, everyone on the railway is in this shed in the story, and they don't even fill half of it.
Yeah, like it is.
They could have put Annie, Clarabelle, and Henrietta in and still had like 4 extra
They explicitly
spaces.
write them
Yeah.
out, and I hate that. That's getting ahead, but...
Yeah, Annie, Clarabelle, and Henrietta should have been in there.
So, like, I totally get why they didn't do big interior Tidmouth sheds in the show, partially because, like, it hadn't really appeared in the books at that point, with the exception of this,
yeah,
and
it's...
partially just because it would be incredibly unpractical to film on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that in season 3 they had that one interior shed with a bunch of berths that
I
they
did
filmed in
like
for
that
like
set.
parts of season 3.
Yeah.
And I really like that set.
I like
Same.
that set, but I specifically remember as a kid thinking it was dumb, because I remember going, but that's more tracks than there are.
Yeah.
Where are they?
It's TARDIS technology. It's bigger on the inside.
I do find it interesting that this is the first time this appeared, because it like, explicitly isn't in James and the Diesel Engines, and that's the most recent book by the time this came out, because that was, I think that came out in September 1984, and this came out in November, I want to say.
Yeah.
I can't help but wonder if this is something like Audrey had cooked up in his head but forgot to tell Christopher. So when he was getting to do a new book, he was like, "Oh, hold on. I can make this canon."
Yeah.
And then Christopher just had to deal with it from that point onward.
Okay, I love the idea that Wilbert's just over in the corner making random changes to the lore, and Chris is just like, "Dad, you need to tell me about this shit."
God. I mean, here's the thing, he probably did that all the time. Like, oh, I was sitting on the toilet, and then I had the idea of X thing. He's just like, it just throws out whatever he had just written.
Goes up to Christopher, like, just eating like a fucking donut or something. He's just like sitting down. It's like, "Christopher, I have created a new locomotive. His name is Ivo Hugh. You may use him if you so wish."
You are required.
Dad.
Dad, I can't write characters for shit. I mean, what? Nothing.
Dad, you've added 4 new engines to the Arsdale Railway, and they barely let me write new stories with characters. But maybe one of them is going to make it in.
Oh man, speaking of 1 year after Toby, you remember how last time we were talking about how Toby's livery peaked in the last story and how
Oh god.
Later books just kind of massacred the livery?
Yeah.
Here we are. Spong Toby. This is a great juxtaposition, I think.
Can I just say, I fucking hate Spong. He's so bad.
Here's the thing. Hot take, I don't know. I legitimately like Spong's style, with the exception of the faces. Because, my god, they all look the same, and they all look horrifying in a way. Like, I think it's partially the eyebrows, because they have, like, individual hair details.
See, I don't like it, because just everything about Spong's illustrations is so ridiculously flat. Like, it's all just... There's never any, like, cool lighting or anything. It's all just exactly the same. And he draws over scenes... He draws over scenes from, like, the Edwards and, like, Kenny's illustrations, like, pretty commonly. And they're just the same illustrations, but worse.
Yeah.
Like, you know, personally, my favorites are Kenny and the Edwards, because they actually have, like, depth and look good.
I think it's...
That's no offense to your opinion, Mari. I totally respect your opinion.
I absolutely respect yours.
I definitely agree with you on the face thing, Mari, because, like, that they're all the same. Please, just
yeah,
make them diverse. Like, come on. Like, you know, this especially bothers me. Like, I really hate when people, like, draw the engines but do not give them, like, diversity of noses and face shapes.
That's like, why I try not to draw them, because I just have trouble with that, and making it look good, so...
See, that's part of the fun with the characters, is, like, you know, like, Thomas and Percy are very kind of round, and, like, Henry's got a massive nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think it's great that they all kind of have, like, different nose shapes. That's really cool. You know, but... I feel like whenever somebody tries to, like, make Railway Series style faces, it's basically just, you know, Spong same facing with, like, you know, oh, Thomas has a pointy nose, huh? And he has really detailed eyebrows for no reason.
I may be wrong, but there are a lot of early, like, Railway Series accurate, like, trains models and stuff that were just, like, straight up, basically, like, scans of the Spong faces modified.
Yeah, that was like the 2006 SI3D Railway Series engines.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sean O'Connor made those, and they have not aged well.
And then 2012 Railway Series Toby looks really nice, and actually looks, like, pretty charming. And then you look at 2012 Railway Series Thomas and Percy, and their faces make me want to kill myself. I do not like those faces.
They're not great. Really, I feel like the ideal Thomas art style would be, like, more realistic than the TV series, not like completely photorealistic, and with the model series faces. That's peak Thomas art style, I think.
Fair.
I forgot what I was gonna. Right. Okay. Back to what I was gonna say in response to your thing. I appreciate Spong for his consistency, and I think that's something Audrey appreciated too.
Yeah.
Because, he was always on the warpath about, please draw my engines consistently and correctly. And you know what? Spong may have had errors, but he is pretty consistent the entire way through his run, other than few errors and
060 Oliver.
Yeah.
I mean,
Duke not
there's
having
the
a tender.
there's the image here where Thomas is like the last one where they're all in the shed, like that, like last one that I read. I mean, where like Thomas is kind of just hanging over his chassis in the back.
Yeah. So, sometimes perspective is a fuck.
Yeah. No, I don't blame him for any of it. I just found it funny.
But this is also the first story in the books where we see the now extended Farquhar sheds.
Oh yeah, because
yeah.
Toby Shed is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't... I think this is the only time we ever see it with two sheds.
Yeah, because when it starts appearing regularly is after Percy's already arrived on the branch line.
Which is cool.
So,
Like
Yeah.
getting to see the two shed.
Yeah, because, we've seen it a couple times when it's just Thomas's one red brick shed. Then after that, we see the two sheds. But now that's really cool, I think.
I still like the fact that Thomas just has his one little special shed that's different to everybody else.
Yeah. So it's visual storytelling. Also, to wrap everything back around to Toby, because I was going to say something about him, I think it is extremely weird that, the coloring... His color scheme is still exactly the same as it essentially was from, what's the Branchline Engines onward. It's still the same color palette. It just looks so much worse when Spong's drawing him. I think it's the blue. Because the blue is, the same unappealing, kind of, way too, cerulean blue that they use on Thomas here and that they use in the, CGI series. It looks fine in the CGI series, I guess, but, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like how the shade of blue interacts with Toby's other colors, and I don't like how that same blue also interacts with James's red palette.
Yeah, I think it's partially just kind of... I don't know if saturation is the right word. But,
My
just
connection
kind of
completely
the
died for,
color.
I think
15 seconds.
That,
Yeah,
style.
I think it is the saturation. I feel like the Northwestern blue needs to just be, a little bit darker than this as a rule. Not not ultra dark like people like to make it sometimes, but just a little bit darker. Not quite this neon bright. I think saturation is the right word you used there. I guess this is also the first time we see Percy with the more realistic-ish proportions.
Yeah.
I like Tiny Pug Percy. I think Tiny Pug Percy is fun.
Honestly, I don't like the way he looks when Spong draws him. I feel like the first illustration in Ghost Train is perfect.
I don't like the way that anyone looks when Spong draws them.
Well, I don't know. It feels... His saddle tank feels too low, in my opinion. I don't know. I can't describe it quite right, but I don't know. I feel like Percy in this form is at his best in that one illustration in Ghost Train, and it just goes downhill from there.
The thing, Ghost Train, Tramway Engines Percy is genuinely my favorite look for Percy.
Yeah, I respect that until we get to Woolly Bear, where they make him Peter Sam for some reason.
I like the Peter Sam smoke box.
I just like the TV series design.
It's none of the other main standard gauge engines have that, and it makes them stand out, and I like it.
I think it makes him look ugly. He's just... It looks fine. It looks good on Peter Sam. it doesn't look good on Percy. It makes him look like he has, like, I don't know. I forgot where I was going with this. I think it'd be funny if Percy had a Stanley face in that form. It
must have been Peter Sam.
See, my favorite Percys are Tramway Engines Percy and Percy in the TV series. And also, like, to a lesser extent, Kenny Percy. I do not like Dalby Percy, and I do not like Spong Percy.
Dalby Percy's kind of cute, though. Like,
Nothing... Dalby Percy is cute, but I also hate looking at any of Dalby's illustrations because they just make me irrationally angry.
I'm kind of just an idiot, honestly, because I like Dalby's stuff. Like, they're not...
I mean, I don't feel angry when I look at Dalby's illustrations, because, I don't know, I can't really bring myself to be well and truly angry with a lot of this stuff. It's just, you know, I look at it and I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
Tartanka's performing mitosis.
Yes.
A party for Miss Kyndley, said the Fat Controller. What a good idea of Thomas. Let me see. We've no trains on Christmas or Boxing Day. We all want Christmas at home, of course, so Boxing Day will be best. So they made an invitation card. Thomas, Toby, and friends request the pleasure of the company of Mr. and Mrs. Kyndley at a party at the new engine shed, all capitalized, Tidmouth, on Boxing Day at 5 p.m. RSVP, Sir Topham Hatt, Wellsworth, Sodar.
Sir Topham Hatt lives at Wellsworth. That's, you know, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's neat seeing stuff where, like, it's gonna sound weird, but, like, Sodar, like, just kind of, like, mundane world things in Sodar, because it's, I don't know, it makes the place seem more real, I guess.
Yeah, like, you know, them planning this event.
Yeah.
This, like, you know, get-together of, like, friends and people, and, you know, sending an invitation to said friends. It's like, you know, that's not something we usually get to see.
Yeah.
You know,
That
it's
Thomas
neat.
and Toby are, like, the ones actually directly sending it.
Yeah, no, that I love. It's cute.
I like that it's, you know, that it's addressed as from Thomas, Toby, and friends. I think that's nice.
Also,
So that's the new show, Thomas, Toby, and Friends.
when does the story take place?
About a year after Mrs. Kindly's Christmas.
No, but I mean, like, what would the year be? Would that be 53, or...
I think Jamie said 52.
Because, Miss Kindly has a jar of, I'm guessing it's jelly, that says Strawberry August 53 on it, so either it's, like, has a surprisingly long, like, shelf time, or it's insanely out of date. Which it's like, oh, maybe it's good they distracted them then.
Mrs. Kindly dies from eating out of date jam.
Thomas, it's horrible. We need to go to Miss Kindly's to get her stomach pumped, or she won't be able to come to the party.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
I pointed out that I asked when the story is supposed to take place, like, year-wise, because Miss Kindly has a jar of jelly on her table that says Strawberry August 53, which either means that stuff has a surprisingly long shelf time, or it's insanely out of date.
Well, I said earlier it's in 1952, so like.
Oh, okay, so it's just last.
I don't know.
song.
Jam.
Cool.
I feel like Jam has a pretty good shelf life.
Would have been
Jam
funnier.
lasts for a really long time.
It would have been funnier though if it was like if it was December 1953 and there's just this like 6-month out of date jar of jelly on her table.
That would be extremely funny.
Thomas, we need to get her to the hospital so her stomach can get pumped.
Thomas, you must take Mrs. Kindly to the emergency room.
Alright, I'm going to continue with you two.
What a special, sir!
Oh god! I'll be a really useful engine!
Thomas, this is no time for being a stupid bitch. An old woman could die.
But Thomas wasn't thinking about old women. He was thinking about the children
After
in
all,
the
we
country
established
fair.
last episode he does hate women.
No!
Yeah, Mari, you weren't there for that because you died.
We're not continuing this bit!
The reports of my death were greatly exaggerated. It turns out gay baby jail is actually a really easy place to escape if you try hard enough.
Well, yeah, the only
two
people there to
things we
stop you are gay
established
babies.
last episode after you left is one, that you're dead, and two, that Thomas hates women. Because you learned from his
We did not
childhood who also
establish
hates
that.
women.
That's not canon.
And then
We're
Toby
not
keeps
making
him
that
up for
canon.
hating women.
But don't you know Thomas hates everyone? That's his personality in the Railway series. He doesn't like
Especially
anybody.
women.
I'm not racist. I hate everybody equally.
Oh, God. Okay, should I continue?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Thomas and Toby were with the big engines at Titmouth Shed for Christmas. Titmouth Shed, not plural, okay. Well, Annie, Clarabelle, and Henrietta joined the other coaches in theirs. They were looking forward to the party, and were so warm and snug that they had quite forgotten the weather outside, till the Fat Controller came bursting in. "The weather's changed," he called out. "It's snowing hard at Farquhar, and Mr. and Mrs. Kyndley are cut off. We'll need snowplows to fetch them tomorrow." "What about it, Thomas?" asked the Fat Controller. He knew that Thomas hated snow. Thomas said bravely, "I'll try, sir. We must rescue them. We must." "Can I help, sir?" asked Toby. "That's a good engine," smiled the Fat Controller. "You two will manage splendidly." I like the engines as decorations and the little tree on the flatbed.
Yeah, it's really
cute.
cool. I only just kind of noticed the tree on the flatbed, but honestly, now that I'm looking at it, it looks extremely haphazard and funny.
It does. It looks like it's gonna
really just
fall over. I kind of love it.
It just feels like somebody found the chassis to a tiny wagon, stuck it on some falling apart wheels, and then nailed a tree to it.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's nailed down. I thought they just put it on there. They have little paper stars and everything. It's cute.
It is extremely cute.
The Christmas episodes should have kept the Santa hats. After
Yeah.
season 2.
They really should have. I love the giant novelty Santa hats. I don't care if they're a fire hazard.
Everyone gets one. Toby has Henrietta behind him, and even she has a little Santa hat. It's adorable.
Yeah.
Listen, if you really want to be technical about it, every single engine on that railway is perpetually a fire hazard. Both with the fact that they're steam engines and with the fact that they're all fucking morons.
Also that, I'm pretty sure you can't open their smoke boxes properly because of the faces.
I'd like to think that they just kind of that'd be the one thing that the engines can physically control.
Yeah.
Is their whatever latch opens up the smoke box doors. So they just kind of they kind of stress whatever muscles are in their face to open it up, and then they just swing open.
Oh god.
See, now I'm just imagining James open. No, I don't want to.
James, what do you have in there, James? It's he's like a dog with something that shouldn't be in its mouth.
Let me see what you have. A knife!
Oh my god, why does he have a knife?
What would James do
I
with a knife?
really like.
We all know he'd use a gun.
I really like that Thomas and Toby are going to help, even though Thomas fucking hates snowplows.
Yeah, it's cute.
Also Toby volunteering to go with, even though he wasn't called upon. I really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that Toby has a major part in this story, because I feel like it kind of makes up a little bit for the fact that he wasn't just present in the last one.
Yeah.
I say the last one, I mean in Christmas Party, which, was the last one that we covered, but chronologically speaking, the last one was I don't know, fucking Great Little Engines? I don't know.
No, it was literally the greatest story in the entire Railway series. Deep Freeze.
Oh, good.
Boy.
Toby isn't even in that one.
He is spared.
See, the mention of like Thomas and Toby like going together, like kind of struggling through snow, is reminding me of It's Only Snow, actually,
Yeah.
is honestly one of my favorite later classic series episodes.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like that it ends with the Fat Controller being like, okay, we'll just let you go without the snowplow for a while, even though that's not safe. But you know, it's still cool.
I just like that
That,
he
you know-
pushes through without it anyway, because he wants to help.
Yeah, even though that's not like advisable or physically possible.
See, as a kid,
It's
I always
cool.
assumed that Toby just didn't need a snowplow because he had the little cow catcher, and I assumed that would push the snow away, but no, there's holes in it.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It'd be like a fucking like it. I was gonna say cheese grater, but I don't know if that's the right analogy to make. I'm thinking of something else.
Toby, I need you to grate some cheese for me.
Early next morning, Thomas and Toby were both fitted with snowplows and arranged back to back with a van carrying workmen coupled between them. They charged the snow drifts fiercely. Sometimes they swept the snow aside. Sometimes they stuck fast. When they stuck, they drew back so that the men from the van could loosen the hard-packed snow. Then on they went again. It was hard and tiring work for everybody, but at the cutting near the cottage they could go no further. "Look at that!" exclaimed Thomas's fireman. "Peep, peep, peep! Here we are!" whistled Thomas. The snow was so deep round the house that the answer came from an upstairs window. "Toot, toot, toot! So are we!" came from behind the cottage. "There's Terence," said Thomas excitedly. "He's come to help too." Sure enough, Terence also had a snowplow and was working hard to clear the road. The two parties met to make a plan. Terrence's gang promised to clear the snow from around the house, while the railway gang dug a path from the house to the line.
It's Terrence.
It's Terrence. Terrence the Tractor. It's Batman Beyond.
Yeah. I love...
Why does he have a cab?
Yeah, no, he has a cab here.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He doesn't have that in the other stories, too. So he just has a cab.
I don't think this is something Audrey came up with. I think that was just Clive Spong being weird.
I love Terrence in front of her house in the TV series because he, like, reaches the second story window. He's
so big.
massive. He's like, "Oh, I'll watch your yard while you go to the party." And it's just
He's
like,
sitting on top of most of it.
he takes up the entire thing. It's great.
Terrence is definitely not scale to what he should be in the TV series.
Yeah, he's just a little bit out of scale.
I love, speaking of Terrence out of scale, I love when they use the normal Terrence model in Faulty Whistles and try and hide it with, like, perspective. But there's, like, a shot where you can just kind of compare him to Duncan, and he's just fucking tiny.
I like Terrence.
Same.
Man, I was theory crafting for a while that, like, you know, if Duncan, small scale Duncan ever popped up again, that he'd have his whistle like in Faulty Whistles, because, like, maybe they were planning on using him in Faulty Whistles at some point, because, like, they were gonna do the Terrence scene, but then they decided against it, but not before they'd given him a whistle. And then, you know, when the fucking Tom Prompts Duncan leaked happened, he didn't have it, and I was like, man. That was a really good theory, and I was wrong.
I guess it was decided kind of early on. I like Thomas and Toby, like, Donald the Douglas saying the snow.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, this does cause some, like, timeline inconsistencies, because I assumed that Donald Douglas are kind of the ones who brought this kind of way of clearing snow to the railway.
Yeah. The TV series also just has Toby following Thomas with Henrietta, which is also cute, but yeah.
Toby's there for moral
Yeah.
support.
Toby,
you can maybe help a bit. No, Thomas, I'm sorry, I haven't got a snowplow.
I'm guessing he would
I'm
probably...
in front of you.
I'm guessing he probably also would, like, pull Thomas out if he got stuck.
No.
Yeah.
Toby's there to conserve his energy for when Thomas is a dipshit.
Yeah. That's probably, like, most of his, like, you know, most of what he does when the two are the only two on the branch is that he basically just saves his energy for whenever Thomas, like, fucks up somehow. It really makes me wish we had more stories of just them two being the engines on the branch.
Meanwhile, at Tidmouth, Henrietta was being swept, dusted, and decorated as never before. She felt very proud of herself, and when she was ready, Percy, who had also been given a snowplow, took her to Elsbridge to wait for Thomas and Toby. Presently, Thomas and Toby arrived. They had a good rest and a clean-up, and then scampered up the line with Henrietta to fetch Mr. and Mrs. Kyndley, while Percy took the workmen back to Tidmouth in their van. It was dark when they finally reached Tidmouth. The shed doors were shut. There was a dead silence, and no one was about. Peep, 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 they whistled despairingly. Where is everybody? Suddenly, a chorus of whistles and cheers came from the sheds. Lights in the yard flashed on, and the shed doors slowly opened. Merry Christmas hung in colored lights inside. This is cute. I like the...
It's really cute.
I love how the shed lights up in the show. Yeah.
I like that Percy gets to actually be involved in the book version.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brings up Henrietta.
We kind of just see him show up in the TV series and then, like, take Henrietta away, I think. But, like, it's never acknowledged.
He just takes, like, a break van, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I think it was he takes the workmen home in that, and then they take Miss Kyndley and Henrietta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a little less sense that, by the time Thomas and Toby get there, it's already dark. If Percy was only, like, just maybe a few minutes ahead of him. But Percy's already there and ready by the time they get there. Yeah. I think it makes a bit more sense in this version where, like, Percy drops off Henrietta, and then they do a swap of their loads, and Percy goes back.
Yeah.
Thomas and Toby go back up there, and then back down the other way.
I want to point out how the TV series just completely removed Mr. Kyndley from existence.
Yeah, which...
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's not like... It doesn't mean anything. But I'm guessing it was because there wasn't a Mr. Kyndley mentioned in Miss Kyndley's Christmas. I may be wrong on that.
I'm pretty sure he was mentioned, actually.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Huh.
I guess he didn't matter enough to get a figure, so they just
dropped it.
I think you had to dip out before we actually got to him being mentioned, Mari.
They erased him from the series in the same way they erased
Benry.
Stephen and Bridget's mother.
It's the reverse of the not gays. Just like having like a mentioned like male like husband to a character just makes me think of like Parallel Sailor Moon, which is the last original story ever written for Sailor Moon by Naoki Takeuchi, the original creator, where all of the inner senshi, who also are implied to have not talked to each other for years just because, are like just mention that they all have husbands that they love very much, and they are all very, very heterosexual women with husbands. They are not married to each other. Nope, why would we have that? I'm like, God. So, that's why, even though it's not the same situation in the slightest, I kind of like the TV series just not acknowledging that she has a husband.
I think that the TV series not acknowledging she has a husband is great, because I still maintain that I think it'd be really fun if they brought Mrs. Kyndley back as a supporting character in like the Renaissance or whatever. But I also kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, because I feel like the combination of not having Mr. Kyndley and having her be part of that human cast would like possibly open up a branch in the timeline where Mrs. Kyndley and Dowager Hat become a couple.
Oh God, that'd be great.
See, I was gonna go Mrs. Kyndley and the Earl.
Oh.
Well, wait, okay, no, hang on.
Sorry, I'm too much of a lesbian to think of that off the top of my head.
For maximum chaos,
the Earl and
Sir Robert and Dowager. Just pure unbridled chaos.
Oh, I love men loving men, women loving women, solidarity. Solidarity.
Yeah.
MLN WLW hostility.
Lem Woolawa.
Shall I continue?
I do think it's a little silly that they try to play like, oh, the sheds are dark. We missed the party, you guys. Like, I mean, I think it's a little bit silly that they try to do that, but it's not a big deal. It's funny.
I mean, maybe they just thought everyone was fucking with them and they didn't actually get the party ready. It's like...
I like the idea that, hypothetically, Thomas and Toby just never came back, so, like, Henry, Gordon, and James just had the party themselves.
This is dumb, but what it makes me think of is, in the last episode, this is totally not because I just watched it for that video project I've talked about in the last episode, but the last episode of, like, season 1 of Love Live Superstar, like, they have to, like, have a stage for their performance, and their friends are like, oh, we'll, like, set it up for you, like, you just go practice, and then, like, they go to look on it, like, see, like, how it's, like, setting it up is going, and there's just nothing there. And, like, the people that, like, came in, like, were supposed to do it, like, come in, and then there's just, like, a brief minute where, like, Conrad is about to just, like, lose her shit at one of them. And, like, they're like, wait, no, it's, like, outside. And I don't know, I kind of imagine that, but with Thomas. So, like, just, like, Gordon or something is sitting there, and you're just like, what the fuck? You were supposed to set it up, you ruined everything. And then the lights just come on, and he's like, oh. Sir Topham Hatt and Lady Hat welcomed Mr. and Mrs. Kyndley, and everyone gave them 3 cheers. Miss Kyndley asked at once to see the engines. We're honored, said Gordon, Henry, and Edward. Then Miss Kyndley especially thanked the smaller engines. Thomas and Toby are old friends, she said, and now, Percy, you are my friend too. Percy was so pleased he bubbled over. 3 cheers for Miss Kyndley, he called. Peep, 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 they all whistled. The Fat Controller held his ears, but everyone else laughed and joined in. Meanwhile, the Christmas tree had been rolled into position, ready for the carol singing to begin. They sang all their old favorites till their voices gave out, and then they were refreshed with hot coffee and mince pies. Then they pulled crackers and played games, and had a perfectly splendid time till, all too soon, it was time for the party to end. Ladies, gentlemen, and engines, boomed the Fat Controller, we are here to honor a gracious lady who last Christmas did our railway a great service. We all hope, Miss Kyndley, that you will accept this free travel pass over our railway. May you have long life and good health to enjoy it. Cheers followed, and to the strains of To the I mean, for she's a golly good fellow, punctuated by whistles. So Topham Hatt and Lady Hat took Mr. and Mrs. Kyndley away to stay with them at Wellsworth till the weather improved. The last guests left, and the doors of the shed were closed. What a lovely party, said Edward. Thank you, Thomas, Toby, and Percy. And so say all of us, hummed Gordon, but no one finished the song. Tired and happy, they were all fast asleep. This is cute.
I love this party. It's so cute.
It's cute. I
Also, God, my instinctual first joke on, like, the third to last page was, the Fat Controller saying, ladies, gentlemen, and engines. My instinctive first thought was, yes, the 3 genders. Male, female, train.
Ladies, gentlemen, and engines, I've come to make an announcement.
Oh my god.
I like that they actually give Mrs. Kyndley an actual gift.
Yeah.
Like, the party's cool and all, but they actually, like, give her a gift, and it's really cool, Like, that's, yeah.
I forgot about that part, and it's sweet.
Okay, so as a kid, can I just say, when I saw the episode, I didn't know why Percy was her friend now, so I just assumed that within the story, Thomas and Toby introduced her to Percy off screen, and they became really close friends because they both really liked Percy.
I kind of assumed something like that too. Like, she just befriended him at the party, and like it's cute. He looks so happy.
I think
in
it's
that
funny that she
illustration.
I think it's really funny that she doesn't talk to James at all.
James is just sitting there waiting for them to have a conversation. He just gets fucking blanked for like 7 hours.
Poor James.
like
It also doesn't help that he's a 440 in the last illustration.
hey, what the fuck? I didn't do anything yet.
What the fuck, Skip? Oh my god, he is.
What the fuck, Skip?
So how was my song cover?
Don't quit your day job, Murray.
Needs a bit of ADR work. I'm sure we can use autotune to fix some of this in post.
Alright.
We'll see what else.
I love you, Murray.
I love you too. Here, I'll give a better recording.
Please don't.
I'm just gonna blast it into the microphone, but then I realized.
No.
No, we'll get content ID'd.
To be fair, I played an entire clip from Sailor Moon in the last one. Did that get content ID'd or?
I don't know. I haven't checked yet. I didn't see anything when I was uploading the last episode, so I assume it's fine. Also, I really like the very end of this where Gordon tries to do Gordon half asleep trying to do a song quote.
Yeah,
that's very fun.
Yeah, like they're all just like asleep or like it's so cute.
I like stories like this where it's just everybody enjoying themselves.
Yeah. I love everyone singing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" at the end of the TV series one.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
so
Percy's
good.
eyes spin around really, really quick because he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Eyes go spinny.
I actually that was one of the things I noticed when I was rewatching it. It's like Percy is like doing that more than anyone else because he's like the youngest and most excitable.
Oh, I never actually noticed that. That's cute.
It's like, Gordon and Henry are like kind of a little bit slow. Edward's not really doing it at all. I don't think James is either. Thomas and Toby are, and then Percy's fucking going for it.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, this is a good story.
Yeah.
The TV series version is... I like that story, but for a long time it's just kind of existed in my head as just, oh yeah, that's the first Christmas story, and then that's all it's, been for me for a long time, because like with a lot of season 1 stories, I'd never really think about it a lot just because it's so engraved in my brain.
Yeah.
But like going back and revisiting this, like it really like brings out all of the like really cool like parts of it. Like, it's really nice that they're putting on a Christmas party for this old lady, and it's really nice that they do so much to help her. It's cool seeing all the engines like being together and just being a family. It's just such a nice, good story, and regardless of like this version adding in little details, I feel like just in general, I feel like a lot of the reason the story is the way it is because it originated as a TV idea, and I feel like a lot of those like TV ideas, like the engines having the big idea and them doing something typically not associated with trains, like having a Christmas party. Audrey retained that for his version, and it honestly makes me wonder, like, how the TV series would have been if Audrey had more of a hand in writing the original stories. Because if they could have, like... Yeah. I feel like if this is any indication, if they'd actually been able to work together, there would have been some really good stories.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see more stuff like this. It's...
Honestly, what could have been cool is, like, Britt and David brainstorming ideas and then Wilbur writing them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. I never realized how much of a one-time thing this story is. Like, we never really got a collaboration like this again, and it's weird to think about.
Yeah, I feel like the closest we ever got were the stories that Chris did for the TV series. But the only story in that case that was, like, well and truly like this was Thomas and Trevor, which was in a similar situation where Britt and David wrote it, and Chris, like, wrote his own version to put in a book. Except that was hidden in an annual, so that has not stuck in the general consciousness as well as this one has.
See, one of my big thoughts here is, like, the episode definitely feels like it was written as a potential finale for the entire show, because obviously, seeing as it's only one season and the series hadn't blown up at that point,
Yeah.
they didn't know if they were even going to get a season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, which...
And it took them like a solid 2 or 3 years to even make season 2 after this came out, so...
It makes a really good finale, like, both, like,
Yeah.
It does.
series-wise and season-wise, because it really is also, like, the first story where the whole cast, like, does something to a degree, because, like, everyone gets dialogue in the little shed
The only
scenes.
character who doesn't appear in the story itself is Birdie, and even then, he cameos at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah.
I like it that they invited Birdie, but they didn't invite Terrence.
He was watching the house. He was stuck in the yard.
Could someone help me, please?
I'd like to think Terrence was like puttering. God, I forget if we said this last time. I'd like to think that Terrence is just kind of like puttering his way to the party all by himself, and by the time he makes it there,
Yeah.
it's just the engine's like asleep in the shed.
Yeah, I think we did say that on like the second to last page of the last episode.
I was
think
there
we
for
did.
that bit.
Okay.
God.
I'm here for the party. Terrence, it's June.
All right, so what did we rank this? Do we want to rank this? Like, I mean, this is like a special episode, so like I don't think this is going to be going on like our like season end like retrospective ranking. But
I think we should still rank it as a story.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I'm deliberating between a Toby or a Duck. I feel like the TV series version would be a Toby, and the Railway series version would be a Duck, because, you know, both versions are like good, but I really like that this that the book version takes a lot of time in expanding out some of the concepts, and, you know, also adding in like new little bits, like them planning the party and the new engine shed. You know, it's
Yeah.
neat.
I am somewhat similar. I think I'd give the book version a Duck. It's really cute. I like it. There's a lot of good moments. There's a lot of little bits that I think are better than the TV series and stuff. But I think I'd give the TV series to Douglas just because I really like it. But yeah, honestly, both are good. It's a really cute story. I like it a lot. It's good.
Honestly, I'm gonna do Douglas too, and that's not even remotely like critical look at it. It's just I love Thomas's Christmas Party. It's been one of my favorites since I was like 5, and I think giving it anything less than a Douglas would be a disservice to it. So Duck Douglas.
That sounds like a game.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's
it's the
Duck
whole
Goose.
Western version of Duck Goose.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Just everybody fucking
Car.
with Douglas.
Car.
I
Tanker.
car.
Car. Oh, wall.
Oh, wall! I have an idea. Considering this episode is coming out on New Year's Eve, there's one way I can think of to end this.
I'm terrified.
Is it singing?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
I'm going to cut
We
this.
wish you a Merry Christmas.
and
and
a
a
It's not even
Happy
going to be
New
Christmas anymore. It'll be New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it
If
ends with "and a Happy
if
New
anything-
Year."
That's fair. If anything, we should be singing Auld Lang Syne. But I don't know the words to that, so I think we'll just have to settle on saying thank you for watching this episode of the Railway Series Book Club, and we'll see you next year
Thank you for
when we
watching
begin
all
our
year.
discussion on. Yeah, thank you for watching this year. This is the first full year where we've been doing this podcast, and we've had our ups and downs this year. Mostly a lot of downs towards the beginning, when we were
We had
covering
some
a lot
ups
of
and downs.
the
We fucked
lessons.
some clowns.
Oh no. But, you know, I think in terms of the Railway series, things are looking up
Yeah.
next year. Because next year we're going to begin... Well, I mean, you know, it's already started going up with Toby the Tram Engine and this story. But beginning next year, we're going to be starting our look at Gordon the Big Engine. We're going to be taking a slightly I don't remember how long it's going to be, but we're going to take a few weeks break, just because we did this and Toby the Tram Engine in such quick succession. But we will be back in January to talk about Gordon the Big Engine.
We did this and Mrs. Kindly's Christmas in the span of like 5 days.
Yeah, because the recording of that one got like delayed a couple times. So
Yeah, it'll be good to have a bit of a break. So, yeah, we'll see you next year for Gordon the Big Engine.
Happy
Bye,
New Year,
everybody.
everybody!
Happy Christmas.
Ho ho ho.